Thanks, Karthik. It was a lovely introduction given. Good afternoon, all of you. I strongly feel that this forum requires a lot of immaturity. So go ahead and keep the smiles on the face. The moment this topic came to me, which is very interesting, and as I rightly said, I'm not a techie. I could read between the fine lines. Yeah. Yes, I've been into schooling domain, right from higher education, graphics and animation, and a lot of innovation and creativity. Not as an academician, but I have had the honors of working with some of the greatest minds, and those are the little kids. While this topic came to me, engagement, as a student or as a child, one thing that comes to my mind is that the moment you say engage, that means you are laying a trap. You are engaging someone into something, right? But have you imagined, all of you over here, that you have also been disengaged since yesterday? When you talk about engagement, curiosity. I could see most of you carrying that passport in your hand, going stall by stall to get it stamped. And why you want it stamped? The curiosity is the iPad waiting for you. That somebody over here will be lucky to have that iPad. So everybody wants that iPad. So that's a little kid that's there in each one of you here. You? I disengaged one more person over here just a minute ago. Fabulous. So we all have been doing this work since ages. So many forums, so many research that has gone in this. But one very basic thing that is there that starts within our own homes. Would you agree to the fact that a child or children in your home in the age group of 4, 5, 6 would know to operate mobile menus better than you and me? Yeah? They are the one who come and say that, hey Pop, look at this new menu. And we are like, where does that thing come from? Do they join some classes? Do they read some gizmo books? No. It is curiosity. Right? I have a 4.5-year-old daughter, and it was very nauseating to see her start her day with that stupid cartoon called as Doraemon. Right? It is a torture for the parent. I mean, if I have to feed her breakfast, she will open her mouth only when Doraemon pops out some machine from his 4D pocket. Right? Since I'm into sales, I do a lot of touring. Almost about 20-25 days I'm not at home. One fine day she comes, she walks in like a Doraemon and she says that I have invented a new machine. And she puts her hand and says that, stay at home. And trust you me, I'm the biggest fan of Doraemon these days. When she gets up, she sees her father already in front of the TV box watching Doraemon. Now we are talking about disengagement. Children require these curiosities to be triggered. And there are ways and means of doing it. I have traveled in the interiors of Madhya Pradesh in a place called Morena. I mean, that's a dacoit belt, and even today you will see parents dropping off their children on horses with guns. And that is the place when I bumped into one of the history teachers. History, as you all know, is licensed to go off to sleep when that period starts. In our school days at least. I am so sorry if I made anyone feel offended. Alright. Yeah? And that is what I shared with this teacher. I said, it's so boring. She says, no Kalpesh, I'll tell you how it can be made interesting. Now what she does, she says that she goes to the class and says that today we are going to learn excavation. Mohenjo-daro. So would you like to learn that inside the classroom or outside the classroom? The obvious answer was outside the classroom. Now, previous day she has a sandpit in the school, the play area. She digs that sandpit and she places different objects in that sandpit. She covers it, and now she's asking all the children to kind of start digging it. So everybody's fumbled. What is she doing? I said, go ahead, dig it, dirty your hands. Within 5 minutes, the entire sandpit has been dug up. The boy found, ma'am, I found a bottle, I found a ruler, I found a duster. In 5 minutes, the entire pit was dug. And then she brings them back inside the class and says, this is what excavation is all about. This is how the Britishers stumbled upon those ready-made bricks, not even realizing that they have stumbled upon Mohenjo-daro. I have a question for you, right? A very simple question. How many of you really know what Pythagoras theorem means to you in your life? Don't worry, this is not getting recorded. Right? Only thing that we know is a square plus b square is equal to c square. I don't even know why the hell that sine cos theta, as that fellow was dancing with the students there when we saw, existed in our lives. The problem is we were not disengaged. The moment and the easiest way of teaching Pythagoras, if you want to do it right, can be just give them a pack of cards and ask them to create a small tower, building, whatever we used to make. You remember that? Yeah, in our days as kids, right? That is Pythagoras theorem. Disengage them and they will show you what can be done. And this disengagement is a big blessing for a teacher to create a lot of collaborations inside the classroom. It is very unlikely that, I will speak from the academic perspective. But I'm just here to quickly run through the slides before Karthikeya hits the class. Yeah, we have understood that teachers do have challenges. Yesterday, one of the panelists, I heard him say that every human being is unique by his thumbprint. So imagine a class where there are 40 children from 40 different parents. It would be a fiasco for a teacher to deal with different intellects. And yes, of course, most of us have done that PhD in the understanding, but we do understand that the pressures are syllabus is centric. Every school works on a very shoestring environment. You have to deal with different intellects. New generation curiosities. Everybody speaks about tab, iPhone, nothing below that. And teachers really have a lot of phobia to that because they don't use these gadgets. Most of the teachers. There are skill issues and will issues with the teachers also. Now these are the first-hand challenges that exist. And then what is expected is to create engaging techniques. Self-empowerment. These days, I bump into principals who says that, Kalpesh, I have teachers, but I want good teachers. There is a thin line difference between having teachers and having good teachers. So a little attempt that we have done is we have created lot of, I'll just take you back 2 years ago that we have alliances with schools wherein we started with digital content. I think most of you over here would have done your PhD in digital content. So if I start talking about digital content, you will beat me black and blue. So I'll not do that. I'll dare not do that. Even worse? Yes. See, I'm disengaging so many of you over here now. Right? Milestones is we started with digital content. The idea was to place ourselves right inside the classroom, understand the real challenges. We also wanted one more stakeholder, that is the parent, to understand that they need to come ahead and support students, their wards, their children, and look at education as an investment and not as an expense. This is one of the biggest challenges when it comes to commercials. We hosted a lot of real-time activities under the brand name Scientifica, which triggered concepts like robotics, hydraulics. You will be amazed to see children in the age group of 10 to 14 working on forensic science, murder scenes, and they're doing hair analysis, fiber analysis, and so on. If you can Google, as somebody said, life is centered around Google. But let me tell you, I read this in one of the churches in Bandra outside that says, please come inside, Google doesn't have all the answers. All right, very quickly. So we have attempted to work with primary in the form of activity labs, learning tools. I'll heartily invite you all to join us at the stall which we have set up, which demonstrate most of it. And very quickly, we have created teacher-friendly software that allows teacher to use open source content, develop their own content besides the off-the-shelf content which is provided by us, like many other vendors in India. We have Brainy Kits. This is a constructivist approach to children. We run preschools. I'm almost there, Karthike. And yes, of course, finally, the activity lab. This is a new innovation. We have simulated all activities pertaining to science in kits, in the form of kits. And these kits are meant to be utilized inside the classroom. Rather than taking children to the labs, all experiments can be done then and there itself while the teacher is actually teaching. So the theory and the blending of real activity. So connecting children with the concept by doing. So there are a host of experiments in physics, chemistry and biology as well, which are given. These are all obviously NCERT based, so they map very well to most of the boards that exist in the country. And then we have something very nice, that is the talking audio books meant for developing English language, which is a big concern for a lot of schools across the country. But this is self-explorative, do it yourself, DIY concept, which allows a child to read through the book, which is automated, that speaks, that talks, right? And it develops good pronunciation, neutral English, vocabulary, and very importantly, the 4 basic forms of nouns, that is name, place, animal, thing, that allows a child to converse. And then we have story-oriented books across all subjects. I thank you so much for the lovely time and hope to see you disengaged for the rest of the day. Thank you.